literally thousands of weightlifters were studied, and they found through this the optimal, is what you want to do with your guys is to make sure that you are training optimally. That's the key word, optimal. Okay, so at a certain intensity, there is an optimal number of total repetitions that you do. Okay? Prilipid's chart, you can just Google it, it'll come up, and will tell you at 70% what is optimal, how many sets and repetitions should I do. So sometimes we'll see guys 70% and it'll be like 4 sets of 12. Incorrect. Okay? Incorrect. Reverse hypers, that sometimes doesn't change a lot. We do a ton of reverse hypers. What may change is the sets and reps again. And then all of these auxiliary or what we call small exercises, single leg step-ups and chin-ups and so forth, they may change.
Yeah. We stay, when we talk about upper body, we do a lot of board presses, we do a lot of floor presses, just to save our shoulders. You know, we have a lot of, you know, it's a long season, you know, we played, our seniors this year played 25 games, you know, in 2 years. You know, so we're just trying to, you know, maintain their strength, but try to minimize, you know, some of the stress we put on their shoulders. So we'll do a board press, floor press, you know, a lot of that, you know, in our stuff. You know, the biggest thing, you know, as I'm saying it, is all this stuff is done right now. Meaning, I'm preparing for camp, you know, what we're doing in the weight room, even before we even think about the summer and think about camp. Because the thing is to be prepared. You know, not go in there and say, oh, what do I feel like doing? What are we going to do? All this. We know as coaches, you know, once in-season starts and once camp starts, you know, we're focused in on one goal, you know, and that's being successful. So the more preparation that you can have, you know, I would suggest whoever's running your weight room, whatever strength program, you know, you're using right now, start developing it right now. Start putting those pieces together so that as you go, you have a plan of action. You know, that's the key. You know, plan of action, and one thing I say is make sure, you know, we talk about time commitment, is everybody's on the same page. You know, everybody, your offense coordinator, your defense coordinator, you know, your position coaches, your head coach, you know, you're on the same page of what you want. Because that's one thing you see in certain programs, you know, the head coach wants something, but the defense coordinator wants something else. You know, offense coordinator, they all want this. You know, and we sit down, and when we first put this thing together, we sat down and had a meeting and said, this is what we want. This is our goals. You know, we said, what do we want to do? And we listed them out. Then we said, how are we going to get there? And we started going through and started piecing this thing together. You know, we're lucky I'm in the building. Not everybody's in the building. You know, I make the joke, but we start when we got back from school, and we don't stop until that championship game. It's Thanksgiving. We continue, whether it's our, you know, off-season, summer program, we go right into our, you know, camp stuff. And our camp stuff, you know, we do a, you know, upper body max, lower body max, upper body dynamic, lower body dynamic. It's just all truncated. You know, it's smaller, it's quicker, because we don't have that time, you know, to get it all in, but it mimics what we've done in the summer. You know, will we do some dynamic stuff, you know, in this in-season? Yeah, you know, I'll fit it in, you know, but mostly we're, you know, looking to push, you know, still maintain that max effort loads. You know, some of the things we might do, we might change it up, you know, do a max effort with, you know, maybe a max effort upper and then maybe a speed lower. I don't, you know, depends on, you know, certain things, yeah.
Do you vary, do the workouts stay the same for all positions?
Here,
Or do you?
I flip them. So, my skills do, they do upper, lower, the linemen do lower, upper, just so that they are not on the same page and I'm not using all the same equipment at the same time. Do some of the things change, you know, within that, some of the exercises, yeah, you know, but not a lot because, you know, we get on the edge, we like to pull a lineman, we like to get them out in space, you know, so, you know, the old adage of, you know, the old Miami speed kills, you know, so we don't change that. But some of the exercises will, you know, will I, you know, do something different with a lineman than I do a skill? Certain exercises, yeah. But most of all, the only thing that changes is who's doing upper and who's doing lower.
What's that rope pull through look like?
You take the cable crossover,
Yeah.
put it all the way at the bottom, use rope, the rope
Yeah.
handles, stick it, feet a little wider than shoulder width, legs straight, pull the handle, squeeze it through,
Got it.
to activate those hamstrings, glutes, and lower back.
Yeah, so it's simply hip flexion to hip extension. You just gotta be careful the kids don't start trying to do a curl. It has
Okay.
nothing to do with the arms. You gotta learn to use the hips. That's usually the only one issue.
What's your guys' philosophy? I've been looking into this chick, Gwen Lawrence. She works with the Giants from the yoga perspective, like power sport. What's your stretching philosophy? What's your thought on that?
I think largely, just to generally answer your question, when we're always talking about time constraints, both off-season and in-season, I'll be blunt, I think it's a waste of time. I really do. I think at the end of the day, you want your kids to be faster, they need to get stronger. That's the bottom line. And guys, so on that note, just something real important to remember, speed, speed, speed. If you're not getting your kids stronger, they're not getting faster. It's as simple as that. Speed is force production, okay? So I wouldn't waste my time, again, just being blunt on doing things like that. I think if you're doing things like squatting and deadlifting correctly, jumping exercises correctly with proper technique, and doing your position skill stuff and working on stances and stuff like that, you're getting all the flexibility that you need for sport. I mean, there may be a rare occasion where a kid is just super, super, super tight and can't get into a stance, then we can present that argument, but I think by and large, I wouldn't do it.
We squat, when we do our box squat, our box is, if it's 16 inches, that's high. Or 16, 18. We're looking at mid-thigh parallel or below. So that's going to take care of all your hamstring issues. You see a lot of kids, you get them on the squat.
Yeah, that's not a squat.
That's not a squat. They're not getting any hamstring flexibility. So we teach our kids, get down, get all the way down. Here, drive through.
And so if you have a kid that can't do that, okay, at the end we use a 13-inch box. That's pretty low, okay, to box squat on. So flexibility for sports is if you can't reach a 13-inch box today, I'm going to give that kid an 18-inch. Then little by little, I'm going to take a pad out. It's going to be 17, 16, all the way down until we can get them to 13 inches over the course of really not that long, maybe 4 weeks to get them down there.
Does that answer your question?
Fellas, remember Coach Martinez is doing this in the course of 30 to 45-minute max in season. If you had even less, it becomes as simple as just doing this, okay? So you have 20 minutes to get in there one day. You just eliminate some of the bottom exercises and make sure that you're getting in your more important ones. So if we did a back squat, an RDL, and a reverse hyper, one thing I failed to mention is a sled drag. Okay, if you guys are not dragging sleds, please do for all of your positions. Extremely important all season. So we could do something as simple as a back squat, a sled drag, and a reverse hyper, and you're done. Okay, hitting that posterior chain, emphasizing those muscle groups. Okay, and the second thing is the rest intervals. It's one of the ways we get this done also in a short amount of time is they're not long rest intervals. They're not supposed to be. The majority, correct me if I'm wrong, the majority of you guys are running pretty fast tempo offenses today. You want your kids playing at an upbeat tempo. It should be the same thing in the weight room, okay? So that's how we get through. 3 sets of reverse hyper, but maybe you only have 1 reverse hyper, but there's virtually 20 to 30 second rest. I do my 15 reps, 20 to 30 seconds later, I'm on my second set. Not minutes later, 20 to 30 seconds later, I'm doing my second set. So if we keep our rest intervals correct, we can fly through this in a real short amount of time to get the work done that we need to get done. So managing your rest intervals is important. And you've got to teach them that in the off season, again, so that that carries through into the in season. You don't have to worry about implementing that in season. They're already used to the shorter rest intervals. Okay?
One thing I'll say is coaches, we have to coach it up just like we're outside. Sometimes, when we're not on the field, we have a tendency, in general, just kind of being slack and lazy. What I found is if we're coaching up just like we're outside, we're in a drill, we bring that intensity, that fire, my kids feed off me. They get in there, they want to get riled up, so it gets me riled going. And then, we go back and forth, and you just see it in their mind. They start ratcheting up, and they start loving it. The best, I just say you know, how we're going is when they start coming, you know, and trying to flex and start coming at me, that means they're getting excited, they're getting going, you know, because they feel it, they see it going, and that's all starts with us. You know, whoever's in the weight room at any time, you gotta coach up just like you're on the field, or it's not gonna work. You know, we are a high tempo, high octane, we're trying to push the limit, push plays, you know, get 70, 80 plays a game. You know, I know we play coach, I think, you know, combined, you know, this year, you know, if we did the clips, we were somewhere around 200 plays combined, you know, in that entire game. So we're trying to push the tempo, and it starts in the weight room. It starts with that intensity of trying to push, because that's how the kids know. Our kids know. We play at one speed. We play at high octane all the time. We coach at high octane. We practice at a high, you know, we go. So in the weight room, we get after it, you know. I'm always telling them, let's go, let's go, let's go. No time to waste. And it all starts with us. Whatever, you know, when you're in the weight room, that's what your team's going to be. You know, if you don't want to put the time in the end, or you want to give it half speed, then that's what you're going to get. I never forget, I coach, yeah, coach.
Are you pairing the kids up?
I let them pair themselves up. You know, most of my younger guys, all I'll do is I'll put the older guys with the older guys, young guys with the younger guys. There's some tweeners that I put with the older guys because they need some love, you know, or they're gonna, you know, be the next ones in.
But if they're working 15 seconds in between, I mean, they're moving.
They're moving. You know, our kids, you know, we start our all-season stuff, just to give you an idea, we start at 3:30 and most of them are done by 5. Right. You know, because they're going. They don't stop. They know 3:30, I walk in, everybody's in the hallway doing their abs. You know, and then we go right in. You know, and I pair up, I just put, you know, all my workouts are on the board. They know where it is. You know, I teach them, hey, what's next? I go look at the board, because I have no clue. You know, because I put the week's workout up on Monday, and I just, you know, don't look at it until the end. So, but they're taught and they're conditioned, no matter what you do, to always look at the board, you know, as a guide, because, you know, I'm coaching up. Maybe I'm on the squat rack with the backs and the skills, monitoring them. You know, I'm not looking at the other guys, you know, or I'm at this, you know, look at the top 2 lists, we may be back squatting and benching. So I'm there monitoring the back squat and bench. And once they're on, they know, look right at the board, what's the next thing? What's the next thing?
Right.
You know, what's the next thing? So, you know, we just that's how we run our weight room, you know. Yeah, coach.
Coach, are the kids self-monitoring themselves when it comes to the max thing? Because I don't know when you do the max, whether it's
Right.
once, twice a week. Kid walks in, coach, yesterday I max. He's telling you verbally, I max so and so. Is there like a moment, come over here, let me see you do it? Is the whole team circling around?
There's a lot,
Yeah.
you know, when we start getting after it,
Yeah.
everybody will kind of shut it down, you know, we'll all kind of get over it. And I'm usually the guy that kind of gets them going, and I'll kind of poke them, you know, to really get them fired up. But our team, they'll get around them, you know, they'll get around, you know, we have our running back, you know, junior running back, he'll get on the squat rack, we're squatting, and all the guys just come around and
That's right.
you know, and they get after it. He gets on, you know, we got spotters, he'll get it, boom, and everybody claps it up. You know, so we get after it. I never forget, I had the opportunity, I worked down in North Carolina for 3 years. I worked for a guy named Kevin Motzer. He's the head coach at New Hanover. He goes, the weight room's like a bank. You put your money in the bank. You know, you keep working, you keep getting your time in, you put your money in the bank, then you go to collect. And the collection is in season. Where all the hard work you've done, now you put it in. So we get after it, and, you know, kids will get around. Our kids do a good job of motivating each other, you know, because they don't, you know, kids, they don't want to be behind. They want to be up, you know, they want to be that big dog, you know, that big dog. So they'll get around, they'll start motivating, you know, whoever's on the squat rack, they may motivate somebody else, you know. Okay, you did that, it's my turn, I'm going to get that and then some. So you create that competition atmosphere, you know, and it just translates over.
Are you checking max with all your plays? I'm talking about the coaching staff itself. At
Well,
the end of the day.
At the end of the day, I'll be honest, at the end of the day, during the year, I made, you know, just see where people's maxes are. I'm not writing them down, you know, but there's going to be one before we get into camp where I sit and take them all, you know, and see what it is. I never tell a kid, And I also know some kids have great days, some kids have bad days.
Yep.
You know, and I always say, never worry about the number. You know, never worry about the number, because that number may change, may fluctuate, may go up and down. You may have a test day, you know, test that day, you may have stuff going on at home. But I know, because I'm in there all the time, I know who's busting their hind parts and who's just sitting there, you know, kind of hiding. You know, so.
How many reverse hyper machines do you have in the room?
Well, again, it depends on the high school. Every school is different. Here at Neuro,
You know, like,
in our gym we have 2. Here at New Rochelle High School, we have 2. So coach, you're cycling how many kids through? 30 in a workout?
Yeah.
30 in a workout?
probably more than that, that's what I'm.
Yeah, so, but remember so what'll happen is when we have a reverse hyper, say I have a group of 3 kids, 4 kids, okay? If we have a group of 4 kids, I'll have 2 working, do their 3 sets, don't get off the machine, and then the other 2 will go, okay? And the other option that we use is, in doing the reverse hypers, is we could break it up. So if I have a group of 4, I'll have 2 kids do the reverse hypers, 2 kids do their RDLs, and then switch. Okay, so we try to avoid the backlog, so to speak. The other thing is,
There a substitute lift?
yeah, absolutely. That's the whole point of conjugate,
Well,
remember, is that there's a whole list. So
Yeah.
reverse hypers, good mornings, banded good mornings, all of these things, back extensions, just an old back extension machine. All of these things that exercise the low back, okay? So this might not be too politically correct, but you know, I'll end up putting some of the better, more important players on the reverse hyper because that's the superior piece, and maybe have my younger kids do some banded good mornings because we only have 2 pieces of equipment. You've got to make that judgment call yourself.
Coach, it's dependent on, you know, you start seeing something backed up, you know, whoever's in there, you know, they kind of have an idea in their head, all right, if this is used, all right, they go, Coach, you know, they're backed up, I'll go to the next one or
Yeah.
do this, you know, just as an adjunct to keep the speed, because, you know, we have 1, you know, or we have 2 squat racks, you know, that we really use, you know, or we have, you know, X number dump, so I have to think on the fly of, you know, kind of the next one, you know, to really hit what we're trying to hit. Or sometimes I tell them, you know, just go to 5 and come back to 4. You know, so I play around with what, you know, I can do, you know, with that.
And what are your recommendations, like the Smith machines, we have them because it's a weight room for the entire
For the
school.
fitness center, yeah.
So,
I mean, it can be
can you
used.
use them, or?
It can be used certainly as what we call an accessory exercise. I would not use it as a main exercise. So in other words, I wouldn't do a max bench press or incline press on a Smith
What
machine
about like
or
for
a
the
squat.
younger kids, or?
Yeah, sure. Again, if you have a lot of kids that you have to cycle through and you're short on time, and you've got to get some of them using that, yeah, you can. Again, I'd rather, if possible, have the younger kids, though, learn on free weights. So if we don't have time for them to get on a bench press and use a barbell, have them flat dumbbell press. I'd rather they bench press with dumbbells than use the Smith machine. Okay.
You know, getting back to your point, though, sometimes you just got to sit there, you know, you write the workout, and this is what I do, I write the workout, and I walk in there, and I'm like, I look around the weight room, I'm like, this isn't going to work. So I have to, you know, reset the workout or change some things up to make it work for the number of kids I know that are going to be in there.
So is the order of lifts, is that how important is the order
Vital,
of
it's
lifts?
vitally important. So again, we run into the problem of volume, number of kids, and time. This is again where I say I literally will take my best kids, the kids that are most important to you, and put them on the main exercises first. It is what it is. So I might have a group of kids, okay, that I say, okay, you guys are gonna back squat, and then my younger kids that I know aren't gonna contribute that much this year, I'm thinking about them for next year, they might start on RDLs and then come back to back squat. Because I want my better kids to stay in order. The order is there for a reason, it's not just random.
Coach, is there a site I can go to for alternative equipment?
Yeah, a couple things on that. First of all, guys, if you go to the Westside Barbell, westsidebarbell.com website, I believe it's with a hyphen, I can't remember now, but you guys could just Google it and look it up. The first thing I'd suggest is there are a ton of articles on the website that you can read about what we just talked about, as well as if you guys are that interested and you guys are the guys that are coaching your weight room then please pick up some books. The greatest thing you guys could do is read. And on the Westside Barbell website, you can get the Book of Methods. It'll explain everything that we're talking about. If you're really into it, I suggest you get books like this, Super Training. This is literally the Bible for strength and conditioning. Okay, if you are a strength and conditioning coach and you haven't read this book, you're not a strength and conditioning coach. Science and Practice is strength training. You can get all these books on the website as well as articles. So again, all of our stuff that Coach Martinez and I talked about today came from here. Okay, guys? So you can pick those up for yourself. It's all public knowledge. As far as the machines are concerned, if anybody's interested and has a budget, you can contact me about this stuff. We sell this equipment as well. We'd be happy to come to a whole layout, including I can give you a whole handout on athletic performance center planning if you have money to do that. I'll hand these out also. Okay. Did that answer your question? Yes. Sorry. Lastly, you can always contact, I'll give you my contact information. You can always call us. We're happy to help. Okay, we're happy to help. Answer questions, visit with you, go over stuff with you. You can email us, call us. We're happy to help and answer questions in regard to this stuff. Okay? If you want to go further than that, and that's free. Okay, we do that just because we enjoy strength coaching and football and so forth. If you want to go further than that, we actually do program for an off-season or in-season, and there's a $75 a month fee for that. We can, as simply as you guys give us $75 and we actually send you the actual workouts, okay, every day via email or text. So that's an option also if anybody was interested.
And that, do you come to the school and evaluate what we have?
And we can do that, yes. You're at Lincoln?
Yeah.
In Brooklyn?
No.
Over here.
In Yonkers.
Oh, in Yonkers, yeah,
Like, do
absolutely.
you develop programs based on what the school has? on
As
site?
far as the equipment and
Yes.
so forth, absolutely, yes. Yep, yep. And we'll do what we can with these methods with whatever equipment you have. So absolutely.
Any other questions?
Can I get a picture of the board?
Yeah, of course, yeah, take a picture, do whatever, absolutely. Did I have enough of those handouts for everybody?